This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, in today's session, we're going to discuss about precision handling in Python. Okay, um, precision handling in Python. We're going to handle the precision of the floating point numbers in several ways. Okay, there are several ways are there to handle the precision of the floating point numbers. Now we're going to use the one module called math module. Okay, in that math module there are various functions are there: seal function, truncate function, and then floor function. Based on the three seal and trunk and then floor functions, we're going to handle the precisions. Okay, now I'm going to have one more directory, new of directory, and that I'm going to make it as precision. Okay, for floating point, I have one floating point number that I want to make some precision. Now, first I'm going to use the first I will have one py file. New of the py file name can keep as precision.py. Precision.py. Okay, fine. Now I'm going to have one floating point number. The floating point number I'm going to have like b equal to 9.67869. Okay, I introduce a value, the variable called b. Now, if I want to use a truncate function and seal function and then floor function, I have to use a module called math module. You have to import the math module first, math. Okay, using this module, you can able to try to use a truncate function. The truncate function used to eliminate eliminate all the decimal parts of the floating point number and returns only the integer without the decimal part. Without the decimal part. For example, if I have number 9.6789, it's going to eliminate all the decimal parts. Decimal parts means after dot we can see 6789, is that right? It's going to remove all the decimal parts and going to give only the integer value. Without the decimal part, is going to give only the integer. Okay, now we can have like a print statement for understanding, and then you can use single quotes in that. um, I can mention like the integer value integral, or can make integer value of a number is, and then you can use n separator n equal to, you can use the double quotes. Now I'm going to use the first function. I'm going to use the truncate function. It's going to remove all the decimal values. Are going to take only, going to return only the integer value. Okay, after dot is going to remove all the things. Now I can have one more print statement. In the print statement, what we can do like math, yeah, model, right? Math dot. Okay, I'm going to use the truncate. In that truncate, you can pass the b value. Let's see the results. It's going to give only 9. Because I already said to you, it's going to remove all the decimal values. After dot is going to remove all the decimal values. It's going to give only the integer. It's the use of trunk. The next function we're going to see, that is nothing but seal. Nothing but CIL. Okay, the seal function mostly used to print the least integer greater than the given number. It's going to print the, I can mention like this, print the least integer greater than the given number. Greater than the given number. This is of seal. From this sentence, you can think like it's going to give the least integer value greater than the given number. Okay, now my value is 9.6789. If I apply seal, it's going to give the value as 10. Let's see. Print of math dot seal of b. What I mentioned here is print the least integer greater than the given number. You can see print the least integer, but it's greater than the given number. It has to give 10. Let's see. What's given? It's given 10. Now I'm going to change the value. Instead of 6, 7, I'm going to make it 4, 7. Now it's going to give again 10 only. Because I mentioned here is print the least integer greater than the given number. Whatever number you are given, right? If you are giving 9.1 and 9.2, it's going to give 10. If you're giving 10.4, it's going to give 11. 10.4, it's going to give 11. Okay. It will give the greater than the given number. Okay. Next function you're going to see floor function. Floor function you're going to see. The floor function used to print the greatest integer smaller than the given integer. I can mention like this for your understanding. You can use the brackets. Like I can mention same words, copy and paste. Paste it here. Print the greatest integer. I can mention like this. Print the greatest integer. Print the greatest integer smaller than the given integer. Smaller than the given integer. Smaller than the given integer. Okay. Now what's happening here is if I give 10.47, the value is going to give only 10. Because I mentioned here is the floor is going to give print the greatest integer, but smaller than the given integer value. Okay, if you're giving 10.47, it's going to give only 10. Okay, when compare 10.47, 10 is value is lesser. Okay, that's what I'm saying here is if you're giving 10.47, that 10 when compare 10.47, 10 value is lesser. It's going to give 10. Math dot floor. Then you can give the b value. It has to give only 10. You can see here it's giving the 10. The print statement to give additional line for you. Yeah, you can see it's giving 10. These are the difference. If you are using truncate, it's going to remove the last decimal values. It's going to give only integer value. And then if you are using seal, whatever number you're giving, right, it's going to give the greatest number of this. If you're giving 10.47, it's going to give 11. And then floor is inverse of seal. Okay, whatever number you are given, right, 10.4789, it's going to give the smallest value, but it will give like 10. It's like a similar kind of rounding. It's kind of rounding. 10.47 you give means it's going to give the value, exact value is 10. Okay, now these are the basic things. Now next we're going to see about the decorators. Okay, I'm going to have one directory called decorators. We're going to show so many examples for it. Decorators. We're going to have one py file. Sorry, we want to create one py file, right? New of py file decorator underscore one. Concept we're going to see decorators. See, if you want to know about the decorator, you should be good in closures and then first class function. You should know all the properties of first class functions. You should know all the properties of first class functions. Then only you can proceed with the decorators. Otherwise, it will be decorator will be challenging for the. It will be challenging. Okay. Now we're going to see the function decorators. Okay. If you want to go for the decorators, we in decorators what we can do, we can define a function inside another function. That's the first property of the decorators. And then second objective is function can be passed as an parameter to another function. These are the two important properties you have to keep in mind. If you want to understand the decorators functions, the first property is you can define a function inside another function. You should have an enclosing function. In the enclosing function, you should have a nested function. That is first property. Second property is you can pass a function as a parameter to the another function. Okay. In simple terms, I can say a function can return another function. Like this way, also you can say can pass function as a parameter to another function, or you can say function can return as a function, return as another function. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to have here one enclosing function. In the enclosing function, I'm going to have one nested function, and then I'm going to pass one function as an parameter to the my enclosing function, and then I'm going to call the my enclosing function. These are the things I'm going to do with the help of decorators. Okay. Now I'm going to have like def stands for define, and then I can have a message name with greets, okay, greets. In that enclosing function, I going to pass one parameter, going to pass one parameter, and then I'm going to have one more function that is nothing but a nested function. Okay, it will be a welcome message. The method name is welcome message. I'm not going to pass any parameter to my nested function, and then I'm going to return some value. What I'm going to return is welcome to, and then I'm going to leave some space. This is my enclosing function. This is my nested function. Okay, fine. Now, if someone calls this my enclosing function, or you can say it's outer function, I going to return. What I going to return? I going to return my nested function. I going to return my nested function. If you are confusing for you, I can write like here is this is going to be enclosing function because this is closed, right? That's why enclosing, because the outer function is the closing function for to the inner function, and then this is going to be the nested function. Nested function means one function will be another function that is called nested function. Okay, fine. Now, if someone calls this method, I going to call my nested function. This nested function is going to return welcome to. Now, I going to do some concatenation. Chennai. Welcome to Chennai. Instead of hard coding like this, what I can do, I can pass this argument here. Whenever call this method, I want to pass some arguments. That arguments will be concatenate with the inner nested function message. Welcome to what are you passing, right? Chennai. If pass means you're going to get welcome to Chennai. If you pass welcome to Singapore means you're going to give welcome to Singapore. The welcome message is going to give the string actually. It's going to give welcome to, that string will be concatenated with the your argument. Okay. Now I'm going to say to you, this code was developed by Santosh. Okay. Now in your team they are saying to you the code was already developed. The code was already developed, but don't change the functionality of the existing code. If you try to change the functionality existing code, what will happen? The remaining jobs will get failed. Don't try to change the code of the existing functionality. Try to implement the new functionality in your method. In your method, okay. Yeah, try to do the new implementation in your method. If you want to use that method of Santosh, you can reuse that method. You can do like this. Okay, if you want to see some functionalities there in the Santosh method, but you want to achieve some new functionality, that's, you can call the Santosh method. Okay, that is called greets, and then you can change the existing behavior of the function. If you want to change the existing behavior of the function, you can able to do in decorators without changing the existing functionality. You can reuse that functionality and then you can change to your new functionalities. Okay, now you are going to write a code. The code was developed by San. Without touching the old functionality, you're going to change the code. That's it. The code, now the code is going to be developed by San. What the code you are doing here is, if the method name is greet message, and then greets message, and then you're going to pass one argument, name is message, and then you going to return that message. Your team lead said to you, use the Santosh method and try to get the welcome to Chennai. Okay, try to get welcome to Chennai, but you can't go and touch the Santosh method, but you can pass this function as an parameter to this method, and then you can achieve the functionality. That's the use of decorators. Without touching the old functionality, we can reuse the code. Without touching the old functionality, we can reuse the code as per your requirements. That is nothing but decorators. Okay, this code is developed by Santosh, this code is developed by San. Okay, now you're going to say how to achieve welcome to Chennai without changing the existing behavior of the function. We're going to see. Now, what I'm going to do, uh, what I'm going to do, I am going to have one print statement. For example, what I can do, instead of str, I can use f func. It's a parameter. You can use string also, str also, not issue. For your understanding, I'm making this function. Change here also function. Change here also function. Now I'm going to call this method. I'm going to call this method. In the method, what parameter I want to pass? I'm going to call this method, enclosing function method. The method name is greets. in the grades what parameter I want to pass. Are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm asking you, if I call this greet method, what parameter I want to pass. You can look at here. I want to pass one parameter, right?
Function. Yeah.
What I want to pass a function as a parameter. Just copy as it is. Okay. Just you have to pass a parameter to the greet function. Okay. Instead of message, what are you going to give? I'm going to give Chennai. I'm going to give Chennai. Now, if someone calls this method, I am passing function as an parameter. I am passing this function as a parameter to this function. Now, in this function, I am passing the messages Chennai. Okay. Now, what will happen? This method is going to return only Chennai. Now, what will happen? This function you are calling over here. The welcome message method is going to give welcome to. This function method is going to give Chennai. Now, this method is going, finally method is going to give welcome to Chennai. Finally, came to welcome to Chennai. This is how you have to use the decorators. Okay, this is a simple example I'm saying to you. There are there are so much number of examples are there. See, decorator is a function actually. It's a function that takes function as an only parameter and returns a function. This is very helpful to wrap the functionality in the same code over and over and again. What I'm trying to say here is this function taking function as an parameter, okay, and then you can use this function and then wrap into this nested function. You can use this function and then you can wrap into the nested function. You can use same function over you can use same function over and over, okay, like you can use multiple times, and then you can achieve the decorators without touching the old functionality. Okay, you can able to achieve the new requirements. That is nothing but your decorators. That is nothing but decorators. Okay, now I'm going to have same example. Going to have same example, that decorator underscore one, decorator underscore two. Now we have the enclosing function as well as nested function, and then you have the message called greet message. Okay, now what I going to do? Okay, if you want to call this outer function, what we will do? First, we will call a variable y equal to, and then you'll call the greets.
Great.
For greets, you have to call the functions parameter. You have to pass functions parameter. Just copy this function, and then what you'll do? You'll give some welcome to Singapore. You'll give like this. You can pass a parameter Singapore. If you try to print the y value, what will happen? It's going to give the memory address. You can't execute in a function. You can't execute the. Okay, hold a minute. Okay, it's printing like this. Okay, we can do one thing. Welcome to minute. String object is not callable. I'm trying to use the closures here. It's saying like string object is not callable. Okay, string object is not callable. Okay, let it be. Now, see, this is not a closures actually. Okay, for closures means you can call the nested function using the, you can call the variable like this, and then you can able to achieve. Okay, now if you print the value, you're getting welcome to Singapore. Now What I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to call this greet method and assign to a variable that what are the results it's getting from the greets. The result is stored in the variable y, and finally it's printing the welcome to Singapore. Now this is a way you can achieve the decorators. Instead of doing like this, we can use at symbol to achieve the decorators. This is a method one. This way also you can call the decorators. I'm going to show another method that's very simple to achieve the decorators. Method 2. Now what I'm going to do, you already know this function is going to pass as an argument to this greets method. This function is going to pass the arguments to this function, right? We can use decorator symbol at of greets, at of greets. Now, if you call at of greets, what will happen? This function will be a passed as an parameter to greets function. No need to define like this. This is a method one actually. This way also you can call the decorators. I'm going to show the method 2. Just call the at symbol. At symbol is nothing but decorator. Okay. Just call. See this. I'm going to pass this function as a parameter to this function, right? So I'm going to call this greets. Now what you have to think? I'm going to pass this greet message function as a parameter to which method? Greets method. Greet message as a parameter to greets method. Okay. Now what you can do? I'm going to use print statement. Print statement greets message. Greets message, and then I want to pass message, right? I want to pass a message. I want to pass Chennai. Method 2. Can only concatenate string, not function. Why are you getting like this? Okay, hold a minute. I'll comment these things now. Can only concatenate string, not a function. How to pass a greet message? Can only concatenate string, not a function. Why the method is not returning the value? Greets message of Chennai. It's want to return the string, right? Greet message of string. Okay, what happened here? Hold a minute.
This conference will now be recorded.
See, we are getting the can only concatenate string, not a function. We cannot concatenate string with a function. What we have to do, see, this is a math function I'm going to pass as a parameter. Okay, parameter to my which method? Greet method I'm going to pass. Greet method is a parameter. In the greet method, the first parameter will be a function parameter. Function parameter. And then in the greet message, I want to pass a message, right? I want to pass a message. Now the welcome message, we have one nested function in that you can pass msg. Okay, msg. Now in the return statement, whenever someone calls greet method, it's going to return the welcome message. It's going to call the inner function as well as it's going to call this function as well. Func of MSG. Now this welcome message is going to give, sorry, the welcome message is going to give welcome to. This function of message is going to give, function of message will be, it's going to give whatever the string you're giving, right? Chennai. That's going to give Chennai. Now we get welcome to Chennai. Unresolved reference MSG. Unresolved reference MSG. Okay, why are you getting this unresolved reference MSG? Because this function scope will be, say the function. Okay, now what I can do, I can remove this and place it over here. Okay, now you can able to understand now. First, what I'm trying to do here is the method is developed by Santosh. This is a method developed by San. Okay, now I'm going to pass this function as an parameter to this greet method. That's why I used the decorators at of greets. Now, what I'm trying to here is I'm going to pass the function as a parameter to this method. In that greets message, I'm passing as Chennai. I'm passing as Chennai. Now, it's going to call the greet decorator. In the greet decorator, we're going to pass this greet message function, and then it's going to call this welcome message. In welcome message, you're going to pass the Chennai as a message. Now we're going to get welcome to Chennai. Okay, that's going to be the final result. It's going to be the final result. Why it's showing error? Required one, yeah, type error. Welcome message. We are missing one required positional argument MSG. It's one positional argument MSG. It's one positional argument MSG. Greets dot welcome message requires one positional arguments. Requires one positional argument MSG. Okay, what I can do, just copy this message. Let's try on this way. Message. Let's see. Returns welcome message. Okay, understood. Okay, returns welcome message. No need to pass a function. Yeah, it's going to give welcome to Chennai. Yeah, I'll make you clear. First, what you have to do, I'll take one notepad. The first what you have to do, this code was entirely developed by San. Okay, now this is an enclosing function. This is going to be a nested function. This is going to be the nested function. In the nested function, what you have did, you have done only welcome to. Now, what I'm going to do, you have only done this method. This method was developed by San. This method was developed by San. Okay. Now, if I want to pass this function as an parameter to this greets function, then you can use decorators at the rate of you want to use this function in here. It implies you are passing function as a parameter to this greets method. Okay. Now, what will happen once you pass function as a parameter? In that you have one more function called nested function. In the nested function, what you have to do? You have to pass a message. You have to pass message. Whatever message I given here, right? Chennai I given here, na? the Chennai you have to pass here as Chennai. Now this inner function it's going to give welcome to this func of message is going to give func message is going to give Chennai. It's going to give welcome to Chennai. If someone calls this greets method, it's going to print welcome to Chennai. That's our final result. Okay. You might be wondering like why I have used greet message here. Now I'm going to show an example. Greets method equal to greets of greet message. In that I'm going to pass Singapore. Okay, and then how will call this variable? We'll call the variable here like print of greets message. You will call the variable as a function like this only you call, right? What I'm trying to do in method 2 directly calling greets of message. You are storing the results in one variable and then you're calling the variable as a function, right? Directly I'm calling greets message then passing Chennai. This is how you're getting the results. Runners are going to give welcome to Chennai. I'm going to have one more example. New py file decorators underscore 3. Now what I'm going to do, right? I'm going to divide x by y. Then you can able to understand. First I want to define one method. What method I can define? Like I'm going to multiply, right? I'm going to do the multiplication. I should have one outer function as well as I should have a nested function, and then I should use your decorators to pass a argument to the our enclosing function. So I want to do, right? Okay. Now we'll start def. Okay. What we can do? Def of multiply we can do or what? Okay. I can do some divide functions. It's like make smart divide. In the enclosing function, what I want to pass. I want to pass the function as an argument, and then I should have here one nested function. I'm going to have one inner function. Make it mute. I'm going to have two values a and b because I'm going to divide. First, what I'm going to do? Like have a print statement. I'm going to divide. I'm going to divide a and b. Sorry, to divide a and b. Okay. Now, if you are dividing some numbers, your denominator should not be 0. Your denominator should be 0. I'm making it as b. If it is 0, I'm going to print some statement. Oops. We cannot divide by 0. We cannot divide by 0. Then return none. Return none. If you are see, you can do like this. You can return none, or if you give blank, it's going to return none value only. Okay, and then after the if loop, come out of the if loop and then return of function a comma b, function of a comma b. Okay, and then for this outer enclosing function you have to return this function. See, this code was developed by San. Okay, you were trying to modify the code. Audio and code is there. You are trying to modify the code. This code was developed by San. What they are trying to say, the previous one code is there. Okay, previous one function is there. I'm going to have one function. It's a existing function. In the existing function, just function will be divide a comma b, return of a divided by b. This existing function is developed by Santosh. Keep like this, Santosh. But your lead is saying to you, don't touch this code. Don't touch this original code, but check for b equal to 0. If b equal to 0, return none. If b equal to 0, return none. See, without touching the old code, you are changing the functionality of the divide method. That is nothing but decorators. Decorators should have the two properties should be satisfied. It should have a nested function. One function should have another function, and then the outer function should call the inner function in the return keyword. These are the two properties, and then without touching the old functionality, you have to achieve a new functionality. But you can pass this function as a parameter to this enclosing function. Now you're going to say, I said two methods for you. What is a method one and what is method two? I want to call this smart divide using method one. How you will do?
Pass the function as a parameter.
Yeah, we will pass function parameter. First, what you can do? You have to take one variable name y equal to smart
Smart
divide,
divide.
and then you want to pass this function as a parameter. Make it mute. I'm getting some fan noise. And then you can pass this function parameter, but you want to pass some values. For a, I'm going to pass here. For a, I'm going to pass 2, a comma b equal to 2 comma 3. 2 comma 3. Now I have set a equal to 2, b equal to 3. Reformat the file. Okay, just print off y. First we'll take the results. Print off y. What it's showing here is smart divide is the enclosing function. You have the one more function. In the one more function, you have like it's called a nested function. In the nested function only, you have to pass a parameter. The nested function only, you have to pass a parameter. Okay. Okay, let it be. Now, what I going to do? Just I going to do only one thing. Just we'll call like this. Let's see. Type error. Because if you are using this function, it will call the inner function. The inner function, what you have to pass? What we have to pass? We have to pass the parameters. A comma b have to pass. Let's we check on this way. Again, I'm going to pass the a and b value. Let's see what the result is going to come. I'm going to divide a and b. Function of a and b. Okay. Yeah. In the function, You have to pass only the function name. You can see here. You can pass only the function name. I pass only the divide. Assign it to a variable. It's going to give you a partial object. It's going to give you the partial function object. Okay, if you want to call this inner function, you want to pass the a and b value. Now what I'm trying to do here is y of function 2 comma 3. You're going to get 2 by 3 equal to what's the value? 0.6666. This is the value because I have passed a equal to b equal to 3. If I pass b value 0, what will happen? If I pass a b value 0, what will happen? It's going to print. Oops, you cannot divide by 0. You can see. Hey, what is happening here? Why is getting same results? I given b equal to, right? I am going to divide a and b. Why it's getting like this? I am going to divide a and b equal to 0. Oops, we cannot divide by 0. What is trying to do here? If b equal to 0, it should give none only, right? What is happening here? Okay, okay. I made a blunder mistake here. See, I'm hard to the values. Just pass a and b. A and b. Now you will get. Oops, we cannot divide by 0. And then it's give the none because yeah, I used only return keyword over here. That's why it's giving none. None means nothing. Okay, see, without changing the existing functionality, you have implemented the new functionality by reusing the existing function. That is nothing but decorators. Nothing but decorators. Okay, what's the method 2? Using method 1, you called that enclosing function and then see the results, right? Now a value is 2, b value is 0. You're getting right, getting like I'm oops, you cannot divide by 0. Now, what is the method 2? How to call? Method 2. Time being, you command this one as well as you can command like this. Now, counter method 2. What you have to do? I'm going to pass this function as a parameter, right? Just make a decorator at the rate of smart divide. At the rate of smart divide. Now, this function will be passed as an parameter to the smart divide function. Divide will pass a parameter to the smart function. Now, what I going to do? Just I going to call the divide of the print statement. Divide of pass a value. Value is 2 comma 3. You're going to get 0.666 as well as if you substitute the value 0, you're going to get oops, you cannot divide by 0. Okay, like this you can do. Now I'm going to copy this py file and then paste it here. Make the name as decorate underscore 4.py file. Now your client is giving a requirement to you. Your client is giving the one requirement. What the requirement is, if a value is greater than b, assign the value of b to a. Assign the value of b to a and a to b. How will you do? They're giving in one functionality. You're going to do only division. In the division, you have to check the two numbers. If A is greater than B, you have to assign the value of B to A and A to B. Here, you want to apply your logic. How you will apply the logic? Because this code is developed by you only, SAN. Okay. The existing functionality, they have A comma B, and then they're going to do the division operation here. But the requirement is if A is greater than B, assign the value of B to A and A to B. Just do one thing. Remove this B equals 0, make A greater than B, and then swap the values. That's it. Just swap the values. A comma B equal to B comma A. Whatever you're getting for B, right, assign to A, and A will assign to B. This is the way you can able to reuse the existing functionality of your divide function. It's very useful or not? It's very useful actually. It's one of the actually most powerful tool. Without touching the old functionality, you can implement your new implementation logics in your current function. But you should follow a outer function as the inner function, as well as whenever calling the outer function, you should return the inner function. Should return the inner function. Wait a minute, hold a minute. Yeah. Now B comma A. Okay, everything is achieved over here. Just run the script. Why are you getting 0.0? Why are you getting 0.0? 200, yeah, 200 will be 0 only, right? 200 will be 0. Instead of hard coding like this, just pass a and B value and then try to change 204. Now B value is greater, right? Now B value is greater as per the condition. If A value is greater than B, then only swap will happen. Now change the value of B value 6. B value is 4. You will get 0.666. Mostly the logic will be if A is lesser than B. If A is lesser than B, then you can able to perform the swap operation. A will listen to B, B will listen to A. Yeah, now you're getting the 1.5. If you want to get results more than 1, then you have to have the condition A less than B and then swap the value of B to A and A to B. Now I'm going to change the values. Going to make it as 4, 14. Now swap won't happen. You'll get the value as 3.5. Okay, I'm going to have one more decorator. Now you only going to answer for me how to use the decorators. Okay, what we can do. What we can do using decorators. Yeah, I have one enclosing function. Greetings. Greetings. In that argument, I'm going to pass name. Then I'm going to have one more function. Hello. In that I'm going to return. And then going to return. Hello. My name is S. And then you're going to pass one str and then plus str. Okay, and then it's a concatenation. And then if someone calls this method, just call the inner function hello. Just call the inner function hello. Okay, now you have one more function. This is the existing function. Greet um, welcome message, welcome message, and the return of welcome message you can give return of welcome message plus um, end. Okay, it's string actually. Now, very simple actually. This is going to the existing function. Existing function. The above function is there. We're going to modify. Going to modify it. Now, I say the two different ways to call the decorators. What's the method one? Going to say the answer. How to use the decorators using method one. You have to say using method one how to call the decorators.
Variable.
Variable t equal to something variable.
Greetings of.
Greetings of, yeah, greetings of
Greet.
greet.
Greet function.
Greet function. Okay,
Greet
greet
message.
function. No need to pass greet a function because here you have to pass only function. Okay, just you have to pass only greet and then print off.
Print of t.
See, now you want to call this inner function, right? Inner function you got to call pass as the parameter, string parameter you have to pass. Okay, this parameter, whatever welcome message passing, right? This parameter you have to pass in str. Okay, don't get confused. If you get confused, what you can do, pass the same parameter over here. Okay, then we won't get confused. Then you will think like you want to pass a welcome message in the inner function. Now you have to call the variable of t as a function. This t of function is going to call this inner function hello. In that you're going to pass the message.
Message.
My name is there, right? You can pass San. Okay, okay. Now what message is going to appear? What message is going to appear?
Hello, my name is
My name is.
Sam.
What about enter? You're going to get hello. My name is San enter.
Okay.
Okay, wait a minute. Hello, my name is STR. Can only concatenate string. Okay, my name is okay. What you have to do? Okay, what you have to do? See here, you have to refer this thing, right? You have to refer this thing, right? That's why it's showing error. Okay, now you can call this. Hello, my name is San. What's the end is missing over here? Why this end is missing? Give a minute. I'm passing San over here. San has to give the end, right? Okay, why it's not missing? End is missing. Why missing this? It has to return the power. Okay. Hello of message plus string. Okay, let it be. It's not taking this end value. Okay, whatever message, whatever parameter you're passing over here, that's only it's taking. Hello, my name is San. Okay, let it be. Okay, what's method two? How to call the method two? We'll using the method. How we'll use the decorators. Going to comment this thing. How we'll use the decorators for method two.
At
Your artist art symbol. Artist symbol name is, so you can say pi. See in Python they'll say it's pi. They won't say art. They'll say pi. Okay. Pi of, you have to pass greetings.
Greetings.
Now this function will pass an argument to this greetings function, and then you're going to get the results. That's it. Now how you want to call print off, print off. Just to go see, same thing. You are assigned t, right? The greetings of greeting t, right? Same thing. What I'm going to do? I'm going to assign to the variable called greet. That's it. Same difference. Make it as greet and pass some values. Just pass san. You will get hello, my name is San. This is how you can use the decorators. See, these are the basics actually. Okay, where we have chain decorators. Okay, and then we have so many types in decorators we have. We'll see in the tomorrow session. You can write your own logic here without touching the old functionality. That's it. I'm going to sign off the session.